Yo, 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 we live at the launching pad, episode 3 of Doing It for the Culture. I got my man Mike May in the building. What's good, Mike?
What's up, my guy?
How you?
I'm great.
How was your day, bro?
It was good. A little tired, but I'm here for the culture, though.
That right. Let's do it for the culture then. So you know how I like to start this thing off, Mike. Where you from, bro?
Michael May. I'm from Macon, Georgia. East Macon, Georgia.
The east side.
East side, you know what I
Okay.
mean? But my whole family is from Pleasant Hill.
Okay.
Went to Northeast. Started off at Alexander 2, the Walter P. Jones, the Appleton, to Northeast. Did a little stint at Central. You know what I mean? So I think I'm well
So
rounded
you
around
well
the city.
rounded,
Yeah, I'm
okay,
well rounded around the
well
city.
rounded,
You know what I mean?
well rounded.
Growing up in Macon was, when I was a kid, was one of the best things in the world.
Mm.
We used to ride bikes to different neighborhoods, just to play basketball all day. We stayed outside till the street light came on. Summer program at each gym. Each gym used to play each other. You know, that's how everybody in the city knew each other. You know, if you played ball, you knew the kids that play ball.
Right.
All right. You know, you got cousins on the other side of town. You used to be able to go to their house, spend the night. You know,
So there was a lot of sports teams, a lot of activities, a lot of things to do.
it was a lot of things to do. You know what I mean? Parks and Rec really had us going. East Macon, we had karate.
So you played for Parks and Recs in the school or just Parks and Rec?
Parks and Rec really was what it was. No, they had a school league, but my parents put me on football down at Sioux City Park.
Okay.
I played down there from 4 years old all the way up to 12.
Mhm.
I tried to play in the other league. I played one game. They told me I couldn't play no more because I couldn't play in 2 leagues. So, yeah, I got in trouble for that. I snuck over there and played. But,
Gotcha.
I mean, it was like, even the Cherry Blossom Festival, the street party. I mean, everybody from school, man. You know what I mean? It was like a village thing going on
Right.
in Macon. You know what I
Right.
mean? Everybody knew everybody.
So how can you say that like helped you out along the way? How growing up like that helped you out?
We had to show respect.
Gotcha.
Alright? Every side of time, you had to show respect. You know what I mean? For any grown up. It was how we raised. We was raised by the rod, as they say. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of respect going on in our era. Respect for any and every adult. And when there's respect for your parents, any and every adult.
Right.
Okay? So that showed us a lot of respect for ourselves.
Mhm.
So if you show respect, you get respect.
Right.
So you know what I mean? Now that I show so much respect growing up, that I get a lot of respect back. So that's what's the key thing about growing up. I took accountability of.
Got you. And so growing up, of course, you know, you see what's going on now.
Right.
Where do you say like things went wrong or like when
I say the late 80s.
Late 80s?
No. The late 90s.
Late
I mean,
90s. Okay.
And when the gangs came.
Okay.
It went from Macon to South Side Blood, West Side Crib, East Side Flow. You know what I mean? It started dividing.
Right.
When you put a divide in, that's when the controversy came in. You know what I mean?
So I mean, like, how do you think that actually started with the music
Just the
or
music.
people from
It
out
was
of
the
town coming
music.
in?
It was the music. They brought Snoop Dogg and West Coast was hitting big. So, you know, you still had a choice. You know what I mean? 'Cause I wasn't never in the game because you know my dad was the police, so you know he wore a blue shirt 2 days in a row. You better have on the red, green, purple, green one the next day. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Right.
But I was into ball anyway. But yeah, it's just when the sides of town started to split. It started with the schools. You know what I mean? If I don't know how the gangs is now, so I've been so out the loop.
Right.
But when it first started, it was school related.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? We already claimed
who
that.
went to this school.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. See, you gotta think about it. My thing was 4
Right.
black.
Right.
All right. Central loved everything because it was in the middle of the city.
Mhm.
So it was real hush hush at Central because you know it still was 50%.
Right. Right.
All right. So it was kind of hush hush at Central. the Southwest, they had like Bloomfield Southside, you know what I mean? It really engulfed us. You know what I mean? The gangs really engulfed us.
Right. So this is when like the violence started coming on the scene, when you started seeing the killing.
It wasn't all this shooting. I ain't gonna. You'll get jumped on. You know what I mean? It was a lot of fighting. That's what it was. You know what I mean? It wasn't all this shooting. No, to us it was fun. It was kiki kaka. Everybody got to walk home.
Right.
You know, a couple of cases, somebody got shot, somebody died, but it wasn't as frequent like it is now. You know what I mean?
And I mean, back then, you know, it wasn't really being promoted like that in the music as much as it is as it is now. But I could see what you were saying about like as far as the music being influenced and as far as the gang culture, because I know how the music had influence on me.
Exactly.
You know, what do you think the flip side of that coin is? Do you think the music could help save the neighborhood now? With like people like Nip and music like that?
See, the difference is, you know what I mean, a lot of us gang bang, but we knew that the rappers wasn't doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
They talking about experience that they had growing up. Alright? We took a hold of it because a lot of people just want to belong to something.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't about, we wasn't gang banging about, it was like a neighborhood thing, a side of town thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
It was really
Repping
fun competition. Yeah, right, repping your hood.
Yeah.
They just put a color to it.
Right.
It was still Houston Avenue, still East Fort Hill, you know, it was still all that, but it wasn't as violent. It wasn't to the extent where we fight. It was more like Fort Hill and not hoops out Macon.
Well, I mean, it go back to like what you were saying about, we knew that the rappers, they was telling stories about
they past life, what they
their
been
past
through.
life, or you know, dudes around them that was actually probably gang banging or selling drugs or whatever. But now it's been transferred to where the rapper is actually doing the gang banging, doing the shooting, doing the killing, and you know, that makes things a little bit worse.
It was like 2010 when, what was it, the Gucci? I think it was the Gucci Jeezy era. Riding it down when it was like a lot of these rappers just talking and came out that they really ain't about that life. You know what I mean? But I think they really gotta show people that they ain't about that life. I don't know. I don't even listen to the music now because I don't understand it. To be honest, you know what I mean? It's the art of storytelling.
The life is different, right?
The life
now, I could say that because you know I was in the life at one point.
Exactly.
You know, went to prison the whole nine, and it's like the life back then
had structure.
It had structure, had a little bit more organization, and we was doing it for different reasons, if you understand what I'm saying. Now it's more so, it's careless. It's like I want to promote that I'm doing this.
It more young kid driven. I say we respect our OGs. They don't respect
that's well,
they feel like they're the OGs now.
I'm gonna say this: the OGs is pretty much is what motivated us to either jump off the porch or do those things, right? But now it's like they don't look up to nobody. They just
I'm the OG. They think they OG at the age of 16, but
like I be hearing them say they the GOAT at the age of 16. Man. How you the GOAT at the age of 16?
You ain't even grown yet.
Right.
It's I don't know. I guess it's the young man move. I guess I don't know.
Let's go to you and the Flames, right? So, is this why you created the Flames to try to change this narrative and do things for your neighborhood?
Yes, this is why I created the Flames.
Okay.
All right. The Flame is an acronym. Faith, legacy, accountability, motivation, excellence, and success. All right. It is a acronym. That's why we chose the name Flames. And another reason why, I know you're a New Yorker. You ever read the book, The Burns is Burning? It was about the Son of Sam. New York was going.
I'm familiar with
the
that.
Son of Sam, the mass murderer. That was doing the Bronx is Burning.
Okay.
All right. It's about how the New York Yankees. I hate the Yankees, but like the New York Yankees, and it was a mass murder going around the city, and the city came together due to a sports real. Making this burning. I mean, we are burning. Like just last night, right?
Right.
Making this burning.
And you know, it's funny you say that because I posted that about 2 years ago. I was saying that the city is crying out. And to me, that's what it is. I mean, we see it every day. It's getting worse. And we ask, how can we stop it? We have to embrace it.
We have to embrace it. That means we have to get to the kids. That's the only way. So this is my way to sneak in to the kids.
So let's talk about. Of course, we know the football side of things,
right?
But let's talk about the impact that you're trying to make. What's some of the programming and the things that you're doing with the kids?
I am trying to build a safe haven mentoring program where we bring the village back, where we all can help each other raise each other's kids. Right. I'm trying to bring y'all into my world so you like, okay, know who I am. Go Mike's a good guy. Might meet another parent who got the kid the same age. You know what I mean? It's a trickle down effect. I seen my 10-year-old team. They started playing together when they were 6. Played together when they were 7. When I tell you the parents is just as close as the kids are, you know what I mean? But now that's one more person that can see your kid out in public and say, boy, what you doing? Right. Without you feeling no type of way.
That's one thing about the power of kids.
That's kids, one thing about the power of kids.
If your child want to hang with my child, they gonna make sure that go down.
Exactly.
Regardless of how
they gonna bed, they gonna scrap, they gonna clean. I don't know about their mama, but it don't matter. Right. They gonna find a way for it to go down. Right. That's the power of kids.
Right. And that's a excellent thing to how to connect and bring everybody together through the kids and through that program and the sports.
Like now, I mean, I got kids in high school. I mean, they go to different high schools. You know, I see their parents on Facebook still going out together. I mean, these kids from when they was like 5 and 6, they in high school. One graduated last year. I mean, their parents are such close friends, and that was a bigger village for them. So I feel like
how have you seen the impact on working with the kids over the years? Like for that amount of years, like what is the benefit of that?
Just the past 4 or 5 years, I had a kid sign a letter to Tim, who I didn't coach for the past 6 years in Macon. So I'm thinking those are my trophies. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to make you play football to go pro. I'm trying to make you play football so you can get into a school that can help your parents pocket, because we ain't the rich.
Well, I mean, like, what about those stories about the kid who doesn't have a father, but he looked to Mike May for advice and those type of things? Like, I know you have
There's so many cases
those stories over the years. You can see the progress to where they started to now.
It's so many cases that it's like a common thing now. You know what I mean? I'm not bashing the dad because the dads want to be there, but it's just touchy. I don't get into that. I don't get nobody's personal life. I just don't want no ruckus at my game. We're not gonna do this in front of the kids. I'm real high on that. But it's a lot of cases of that. Sometimes it's the mother, sometimes it's the father. Sometimes we just need to just sit down and just talk to each other. Right. You know what I mean? This one little 2 hours of this football game, we shouldn't have to sit here like, he better not say nothing to me. But for them little 2 hours, I can get the parents there. Just to watch the kid, you stay on your side, I'm fine with it. That's what I'm going to.
And the kids need that. They
And the
need
kids need that.
need that. They need for first and foremost they need the support. And
Right.
second, they need to see that balance. They need to see
You see that
from the
balance?
female and the male perspective.
Because you got to have the balance.
Of
You know,
course.
you have to have the balance.
Of course.
With that balance, you know what I mean? It's just tough in the black community because that balance is what we don't have.
And
And
it's
then
funny.
that's
we-
the
It's
trickle
funny.
down.
It's
It's
funny.
the
we-
trickle
It's
down
funny we
effect,
speaking
man.
on that balance because to me that's what I feel like the ultimate problem is. Like when people say, Carl, what you think about the violence issue and this and that? I think that's the number one issue that we need to solve as far as family.
Right.
If there was more of a family structure within our community, you would see that balance. You would
Right.
see
Right.
more of a unity because
Right.
first and foremost, the family is moving as a family unit. So
Right.
we're moving as a family
We're moving
unit.
as one.
Exactly.
The black community, we haven't moved as one since we got from segregation. We haven't moved as one since the Civil Rights Act.
Mhm.
Since then, we all been trying to up each other for some reason, and when we realize we're stronger together.
But you got to think about it like this, and this is how everybody else looks at us too. If you're not right with your family, what makes you think you're gonna be right with me? You get what I'm saying?
It's true.
And that's how we're looked at as culturally, and we look at each other as this. Like, if I don't see you with your family, like, How you gonna take me?
How you gonna lead me? You can't even lead John.
exactly, and
that's a fair
really,
that's a fair
really,
thinking.
That's
fair
really
thinking.
like the stigmatism on our culture,
Right.
and that's what's holding us back to get into the levels that we need to get. And that's why I always say that family structure is so important.
It's so important.
It's so
It's so
important.
important.
It's so important. But as a mentor, a coach, looking at these kids on a daily basis, what will be one of the things that you say they truly need?
More things to do. Too much idle time after football season. You know what I mean? Everybody go their separate ways. Some play basketball, some don't. We need to have them something they can do, and where the parents can feel safe while they're doing it. You know what I mean? On a daily basis. Like, I say, we had East Macon Gym. My mother go drop me off at East Macon Gym. Millions of kids out there. Don't come back and pick me up to almost 5 o'clock.
Let's talk about that too, man. Cause you talk about, how you was growing up, how the rec center was vital. What seems to be the problem today with these rec centers?
All right,
Like,
let's get into this.
yes.
Off top, I'm gonna say this. Mayor Rooker have cut the budget every year
Mhm.
in Parks and Rec for the last 4 years when County budget cut.
Okay.
It was just 1 year. It was just 1 year ago that we almost didn't have a Parks and Rec. Remember? We almost didn't have a Parks and Rec. The year we did the march.
That's the same year about the
Pandemic.
library.
Yeah. They're about to close the library and all that.
Right.
Alright? Boom. True enough, I'm gonna say this. They did cut the budget. But I feel like Parks and Recs are fine with how things are. I think Parks and Recs don't want to do no more than they have to. You know what I mean? I coached down at Little League football down at Parks and Rec. My first 10 years, 15 years down at Parks and Rec. Every year.
Now, when you say Parks and Recs, like what does Parks and Recs consist of? Like
That's all the gyms, all the youth
Parks.
sports, all the parks, essentially the park is under one umbrella.
Okay.
Alright?
And Parks and Recs is supposed to have teams all over the city.
It can be that simple, Carl,
Right.
but
Well, let's say that. Let me ask you this: was it like that back in the day? It was never like.
okay, back in the day, this is what it was like. Alright, I'm gonna get it to you.
Okay.
Alright? Everybody played football at Cincinnati Park or they played at the school league. Alright? It was 2 leagues. Alright? It wasn't no Stratford League and all that. somewhere in between the late 90s and when I started coaching, they started a Stratford League.
Okay.
Alright, so when you start a Stratford League,
Now, when you say Stratford League, that's private league, right?
private school league.
Gotcha.
Alright?
Okay.
So when they started, cause Central Park was 50-50, half black, half white.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I played. I played all the way up to 94, 95.
Right.
Alright? After I came back to coach in like 07, it was all black.
Mm-hmm.
Alright? What happened between then and the early 2000s, I don't know. Alright? I'm gonna leave that alone. Alright? Because some coaches still down in Central Park who was there, who know what happened. But I'm not gonna call out no names.
Right.
Alright? So, boom. Summer program. Everybody went to the gym that's closer to their areas. Alright? Eastside kids went to East Macon. The Fort Hill kids went to Rosa Jackson. The Fort Hill kids was at Rosa Jackson when they had no gym. Alright? They had nothing but a game room and 2 outside courts. The gym was packed. I mean, they was there.
Right.
We got free lunches. Alright?
Mm-hmm.
Every park had its own. They got their own basketball plays. Got 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. We played summer league throughout each other gyms. We even had boys and girl club that was involved in this. All right. We had the YMCA where we had overnight lock-ins where we had swimming. I mean, this all going on during the summer.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Kept it busy during the summer. All right. Even they had the high school kids who was seniors. They'll give them a part-time job there. Alright? So not only if you got something for the little kids to do, you got some for the teenagers. Boom. Right. Alright? So that's 17 through 18 kids at work at least at 6 o'clock.
Right.
Alright? Doing something that they love, playing in the gym. Who doing playing basketball, playing Uno. They can sit around and watch 5 and 6-year-old kids and do that as well.
Right.
Alright? They had swimming. Had high dive, they had a low dive. They took those away. I think all gyms took those away due to safety hazards or something. Alright? Swimming lessons. We had karate at East Macon. We always had something to do. Alright? Baseball. Everybody had their own part. Saw Megan had a part. Will Megan had a part. E Megan had a part. Then you had Shirley had a part. It was like 9 baseball leagues. Now we got 3. Maybe 5.
And the reason behind that is due to funding.
I think it's due to effort. Because it's not about the money. You know what I mean? If you really want to get the money, you can get the money. I think they just want to do a half-behind program just to say they did it.
Okay, well, from a city standpoint or from like a community standpoint, when you say effort, like from saying that the
I'm
city
the community. I don't work for the city.
Okay.
I just live in the city. I am the community. All right. The kids that I coach tell me these things like why y'all don't go to the gym? Because my mom says she can't afford it. You know. I'm like, for the summer, they want $150 a kid. It's 5 of us. Okay. What about a boys and girls club? They 2 packed. Cause it ain't but what 3. I mean, we had one on east side of town. I mean, it was like 5, 6 on. YMCA, oh yeah, they tore that down. So I don't know.
You have options.
Yeah, the options are very limited.
Right.
Alright? So now, don't forget now, in the summertime, I'm still gotta work. So now they at the house, now they out with idle time, doing what they want to do, how they want to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Instead of somewhere watching, it was free for us to go to the summer program. And once again, I'm going to say, they did cut the budget. You know what I mean? It was the last minute. They want the new year.
Was there a reason why they cut the budget, or just it was just
they were losing money every year.
right?
You know what I mean?
Okay, statistically we can
only the commissioners and the old man know what the money going.
One thing about Carl likes to deal with numbers and statistics and facts, so we could show the demographics and the statistics of how it used to be.
Right.
When there was, and how the crime rate was, and then we can show how, when they took it, how the crime rate is, and we living in it now.
We living in it now. They keep asking what we can do. How about just give them something to do? How about keep the gym open an hour later? How about instead of closing the gym at 3 o'clock on Saturday and Sundays when they out of school, you know what I mean?
Before we go to a break, I just want to say this. If you actually read the budget and was reading what actually is in the budget and, you know, what they say money towards the police and all of that, it would look like a beautiful place. It would look like, you know, if the money was really being allocated in
the way it's supposed to go.
They got money for Dare. I haven't seen Dare since.
Man, I mean, see, and that's the relationship you build between the kids and the police. I remember seeing my dad also on patrol, like, hey, officer, call, you know what I mean? That way, it ain't no, we scared of the police. What the hood guy told her down the street about the police. Well, I know Officer Carr. I know he a good guy, because he come to my school on a daily basis. You know what I mean? And then when you see him out of street clothes, you really can't relate to him other than he's just the police. He is a man just like everybody else.
That right.
This segment of the show has been brought to you by Speak Your Peace.
Good to go. So what do you feel is the solution?
I say we got to really, really, really look at our parks and recs and find out where the disconnect with them in the community is. I seen on the news the other day, they gonna tear down houses. They was like, well, with the abandoned houses, can we build a park right here? Because kids don't got nothing to do. And I thought to myself, oh, she stay right down the street from Unionville Gym.
Right.
And I thought about it. Oh, it's a Saturday, 4 o'clock. Oh, yeah, she can't go down. So, you know, it's just about having the gym open when the kid
and that's the thing, like, there's plenty of people in the community that want to do things and want to do things at the rec center, but they go through so many things.
So much red tape just to, like my organization, I don't practice or play on any Bill County facilities.
Wow.
First of all,
but you for the city.
But it's making, you know what I mean?
Right.
But see, but first of all, they try to charge me $90 an hour for lights. You know what I mean? But these are the same kid parents who pay taxes for these lights.
Right.
You know? And we can't afford that. Shouts out to the Boys and Girls Club for stepping up, you know what I mean? The other avenue, Bill County school system, thank y'all for stepping up.
Right.
But Parks and Recs don't want nothing extra done on their facilities if they don't have to. Now they totally against my program
because I'm getting kind of confused. For clarification, right?
Okay, go ahead.
Like you told me what Parks and Recs is, but what is like the duty of Parks and Recs? Like,
Parks and Recs supposed to be for the youth.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
You know, Parks and Recs supposed to be for the youth. It's supposed to be a place how it was in the 90s, a place where the youth can go with a safe environment.
I also thought Parks and Recs was developed for prevention of violence and all of these other things that goes on in the community. Like you said, a safe haven.
Man, it's just so much red tape you gotta go through. A lot of people just gave up using Parks and Recs. Like I gave up using Parks and Recs.
Well, when it's sort of like the politics, you know, it's like when you don't receive anything for so long, you give up hope.
Right.
And
exactly.
that's
exactly.
where I see where
there's no hope.
That's
That's
where
what
I
it
see
is.
it.
We have no hope with Parks and Recs. I mean, we just tried to do an advisory board at Bloomfield Gilead. Oh, they shot that down so quick. I mean, it was like.
And that's one thing that
I don't want this done in my gym.
It's like you get told no, that the people are just like, you know what, you got it, and they'll just stick to themselves and into their own little world.
That's why I'm still pushing. That's why I'm gonna continue to fight. That's why I'm gonna continue to do what I'm doing. I mean, I did it with no money, one team, and some dedicated parents. Shout out to my parents. I mean, we started off just a 7U team. You know what I mean? And we got up to a fact where we had 5 teams and an awesome cheerleading squad. You know what I mean? Just because that first little on flames, that faith. You know, faith side of the mother seed, it goes a long way. You know, the dedication that we put in it, and we did it just so our kids have something to do with everybody telling us no. I mean, I want to say there's no money out there. It's money out there, but you have to go get it. Making.
What are some of the things that you did to raise capital?
Man, we had car washes. I mean, we had fish fries. I mean, it's just me and my parents.
Right.
You know, we came out our own pocket and we did it. We fundraised selling donuts. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? What else did we do?
So are you bearing witness that there is power in the community?
It's making. I want to say thank you because making showed up. It was plenty of people like, I see what you're doing. Here go $50. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I see what you're doing. Here go. I mean, we don't want no food. Oh, y'all all that, but take 20 anyway. I mean, making the show love, but you got to work for it. You know what I mean? We really got it out the mud.
To me, it's all about, this with anything though.
Dedication.
It's all about, it's dedication, but it's reciprocation too.
Right.
It's what you giving me, I'm receiving it back. You know what I'm saying? So the people feel, they already see you out there dedicated.
Right.
You got the kids out there, you got the parents out there, so they know what they're going to be receiving in the back, and they know that same love is going to be poured back into the children. And that's why you're receiving the love that you get. And I commend you, brother, for doing what you're doing, because like you said, it takes that effort. Right. A lot of people talk, a lot of people have the ideas, but a lot of people don't have the effort and the energy to go out there every day or whatever the case may be.
And I mean, the time they told us no, and we just found another way. You know what I mean? It wasn't easy.
How long has this journey been?
Boom. We started travel ball 4 years ago. I'm gonna say 4 because you can't count the pandemic year because we didn't play. No. All right, but I did do something for the middle school boys. The 13U, I got them a couple of games in. You know what I mean? Okay. Because that's the age where it really.
Now, when you say getting the games in, that's you.
And me putting the team together, getting equipment, finding other teams to play who want to play in the middle of a pandemic. Mm-hmm. You know, finding the field to play in who let you play in the middle of a pandemic.
Let's talk about that real quick, because a lot of people don't know the intricate. Right.
They don't know behind the scenes.
Right. A lot of people don't know the behind the scenes.
Shout out to Waiters Campbell, Carissa Coleman Lowe, Markel, Salintris, Eileen, Brittany, my parents. Mm. I mean, Samaya, Sabria, Alexis, Herman. I can't name all.
And for y'all that are listening and take, this is black business, y'all.
It's black business.
This is black business.
The Black Jerry Jones.
Family.
Every dime we make, we put it back into our kids because the money goes to the kids. We do not get paid for this. Honestly, we pay out to do this. Right. You know what I mean? But it's fine because you got to be dedicated to it.
Right.
You know
so you find the teams, you find the fields, you find the players.
Alright, let me tell y'all my journey. Let me give you the whole story. See, that's the interesting part. Boom. Alright, first year we jumped out on faith. I went to Parks. We was down at Parks and Rec. They got a team called Making United. Don't forget, I coached Making United a couple years before, but the director somehow took a team from one of my coaches, so we both quit. Alright, folks. So we went back to rec ball. So before we left, we went there like, we're trying to do the tri ball again. If y'all let do the tri ball, we're going to start our own time. They said, all right, we get back to it. Months went on. Then nobody get back to it. So we started our own thing. You know what I mean? Got into it with this guy named, I ain't going to drop no names. Got into it with a guy, didn't work out. So boom, went out on our own. We started off as the Ravens. All right? I'm so committed to do the right thing that I don't care who you are or what you are to me, I will let it go just to do the right thing. Alright? I'm gonna leave it at that. Alright? I left and started the Flames. Left the Raiders, started the Flames. I'm getting them. When I left the Raiders, everything I took to the Raiders, I took with me. Coaches, kids, and all. Okay? Boom. Mine's turned out to be a success. Alright? We started in the pandemic. We had to stop mid-pandemic. Jumped out there. Boom. So this is like year 4 going on 5 for me. Doing travel ball. Me leaving Bill County Parks and Recs, doing my own thing, and doing travel ball. Alright? Practice field. We started out practicing. Our first practice was in the middle of David Home. I mean, on the field in the middle of David Home. You listen to what I'm saying?
So you really got out the mud.
Boom. Bill Parks and Rec blackballed us so much where we couldn't even get to the school till like after the football season or so kind of way. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a long story between us and the director of Parks and Rec too. You know what I mean? So we practice there. Don't forget, in October, the time gets shorter. 6 o'clock you get dark.
Right.
Now you need lights.
Right.
So boom. Kind of moved to Central because Central got sort of kind of like, now we got to deal with kid safety and parent comfortability because it's not just for the kid. We got to make sure it's a family. We trying to do the family affair.
Gotcha.
All right. So boom. After that, we go to Parks and Recs because we got to have lights. They charge us $90 an hour. All right. We paying this out of our own pocket. You know, because the money that we make is going to the kids. So we decided to do travel ball. Coach Wade, Coach JC, we paying out our own pocket. Now don't forget now, they got their own little league going on down there who are already using lights. Right. So we practice on the field beside the kids who are already using lights. They don't be in, so the light gonna be on regardless. Right. Starting $9 an hour. Alright? I ain't making this up, I paid them myself. Alright? Boom. So after that, they get old. You know what I mean? They get old. So season end, first season, we got to figure out this light thing. Boom. Instead of going to David Home, we went straight to Central. All right? Got to figure out this light thing. You know what I mean? October came around. So once again, the second year we had to go pay the $9 an hour. All right? So after a while, funds started getting low. All right? I see this the whole plan. You know what I mean? And had that faith. Now, the second year, I'm also having a problem within my own organization. Right. So, boom. I went right, they went left. All right? Boom. They was over the money, so they took all the money. Fine. I get it out the mud. Got it out the mud. Started with Central, don't forget. Still in the middle of a pandemic. Central like, well, we can't accommodate y'all now because we don't need the traffic due to the coronavirus on the school. Gotta have faith. They said, we'll send y'all to one of our elementary school locations. Pick one. So, you know, I know they just built that new field behind Hartley. Right. I picked Hartley. Funny how God worked. Now I gotta have that faith. First practice, everything went fine. We called ladies, said Hartley's fine, boom, 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 $1 a day, do the skeleton. Second day, principal came out there. Alright? That morning, get a phone call. Sorry, I can't practice there. This is not their field. Belong to the Boys and Girls Club and Macon Highland Authority. Okay, hang up. Why don't I just call the Boys and Girls Club? Boom. Yeah, it's cool. You know what I mean? But you gotta make sure you get permission to park from the housing authority. Gotcha. How about one of my kid parents work where we need to get permission from? See, it's funny how God works, you know? When they try to put you two-step back, he'll find a way for you, you know what I mean? Right. So, boom. They said, we're going to y'all use it free of charge. But turf, nice turf field, soft for the kids to practice on. Right? All that, you know? So, boom. We still play, we still got home games we got to account for. Right. We go to the outskirts on John County. Give us a great deal. You know what I'm saying? We see what you're doing.
So the home games in Jones County.
Right on the Macon Jones County line. I mean, it's right on the Jones County line. Once again, Parks and Recs had them pushed us out so much. Now don't forget, now these are Macon kids. Right. Paying Macon taxes. Right.
Right.
paying they pay the taxes for the supplies, but they
But
can't use none of their
the,
cars.
the jewel of all of this is those kids gonna remember that.
Kids gonna
They
remember
gonna remember
where they played at. They
They
ain't
gonna
gonna be.
remember where they played at, but they gonna remember the trials and tribulations the city took them through. You get what I'm saying? So
and then how
when
can
we-
you respect the city like that?
But
You can
it's
change.
like what Pac said, and it's like what Malcolm said. The hate you give,
Right.
it always gonna reciprocate. So the
Right.
hate that you giving, you
Right.
gonna receive it back. So when
Right.
they ask, why is it so violent, or why this happened, or why this going on, it's that same energy.
Yeah, if I ever get a chance to talk
It's
to them, I'm
that
gonna tell
same
you,
energy.
you have to get better with your Parks and Rec. Now, it's everybody who works in Parks and Recs. It's not the problem. There's some good directors.
Mhm.
It's some directors who just want to just get a check and go home. You know what I mean? It's some directors who really want
Well,
kids at their park.
I'm gonna say this, right? And it's bigger than Parks and Recs.
Right. Oh, it's way bigger than Parks and Rec.
Overall, the city just needs to be more engaged with the community.
Right. Because
And
this Little League football, it's a whole fiasco.
Mm.
I mean, it's a fiasco within the coaches, and it all started from Central City Park, Parks and Rec. You know what I mean? It's so brutal that it be Facebook arguments to, well, we all used to be friends at one point in time.
wow.
Now we can't even say hate each other. It got so brutal. This coach went here, this coach went there, this coach still here doing the same mess that moved this coach there and there.
Mhm.
But you still here. It's
But is it about the kids or is it about
oh
money?
no,
or is
it's
it about,
always about money with
Right.
some of these coaches. Some of these coaches is definitely about their son.
Mhm.
Some coaches is definitely about money. And I say, well,
But-
Parks
but-
and Rec, they just say, okay,
But
we
like you
did it.
said, like when it's designed to be, when it used to be like this, but now it's like this.
Mhm.
Of course, it's gonna be
Right.
friction and conflict and everybody fighting over just this amount of space. When it was spread it out, everybody was getting money, everybody had the same, you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a design, I would say, you know.
I say it's more like a. I think it's by design. I think the way society put us against each other, you know what I mean? It is by design. But my thing is, we fall for it.
Exactly.
We play into it.
Exactly.
So we just much to blame as they.
Exactly.
So I get what you're saying is by design, but
But I mean, knowing that it's by design, I'm a creative. I'm gonna create my own design.
Right.
And that's why I rock with people like you.
that's what I did.
That create their own design. That want their own. That hey, we're not just gonna take that. I'm gonna take this and build this for my people.
Right. I'm not doing it for my ego. I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do for the kids.
Mhm.
Making when it comes to Little League sports, y'all, we're like 15 years behind. If you go to Atlanta, you go to Ronald Robins.
Nah, exactly, that's what I was gonna say.
You
Just go to
Ronald
Robbins.
And
You have a whole city that's being developed off of youth sports.
man,
You see the center that they
man, come on, man. I mean, and they steady win state championships. You know how much money that generate for their city,
Right.
their school, their
Tourist attractions
town.
and all.
I mean, but we do twice as big as Ronald Robins.
Mhm.
But we so divided, it make us twice as small as Ronald Robins.
Mhm.
It's just that simple.
It's one of those situations, you know what I'm saying? Damn if you do, damn if you don't, right?
Right.
But,
You do that if you don't.
With that being said, man, we just did it for the culture. And Mike, it's been a good one. Always, bro. We out of here.